Hi guys, I'm Educator AD, popularly known as Engineer AD. And today I am going to be doing the first video on this new channel we call the Mosdi Masterclass. So here I'm going to be solving some quant questions, quant questions for the GRE and the GMAT students. If you're writing GRE and GMAT, it is advisable you know somebody writing the exam, you can actually link them to this channel because it's going to be of great help and importance for most of them. So I'll be doing some kind of real time questions. Disclaimer should keep it in mind. These are not, when I say real time, I don't mean the real DR question, but they are like the format of what you are going to see on your exam day. So the channel was open, I think, yesterday, and I can see that you guys are really sharing it. Continue that manner. That is why I want to do a full quant video for you guys to actually learn some concept and some trick on how to handle most of these theory questions. So stay on this channel. I promise you are going to get the best and the best of tricks and methods to solve some challenging questions. Maybe you've thought about them before, but I'm very sure you are going to learn one or two things on this channel. So I will start with the business of today. I have 20 questions here. I'm going to be solving them maybe two ways if time permits, because I'm being time. You know that I'll always be time. But notwithstanding, I want to try to solve it in a normal way and also the way I expected you to solve it. If you see any of those questions in the examination. So I hope I'm visible. I'm audible. I hope you guys are ready. So let's get started onto the first question. Now, the first one. The first question says, what is the largest integers? Integers are generally numbers, whole numbers, negative or positive, that you can actually get. They are not decimals and they are not fractions. So keep it in mind. Integers values of x, whereby 20 factorial, that exclamation, divided by 4 raised to power x is integer. So if I am you, the only keyword, one thing about GRE is that keep the keyword at the back of your largest number. So that means largest integer, largest whole number. So you start substituting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for example, look at my solution here. I'm going to do solution right here. So if I'm doing solution right here, as you can see solution. So I have solution to this. So we say 20 factorial over, if I'm picking, for example, 9 as my answer, so the 4 raised to power x is now 9. So if I press this on my calculator, this is the way most of you are going to attempt this question. If it is an whole number, then it is the answer. Because that's the largest number amongst the list of options that we have here. So whole number. So if it is whole number, then you pick a 9. So that is the way you are starting to do that with your calculator. But the quick question is, do you actually know what is called a factorial? A factorial is just saying, if you say 20 factorial, for example, it simply means you are multiplying number from 1 to 20. That is 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you multiply from that particular number to 1. So that is what we call factorial. So I'll still talk about that later on when I topic wise on this particular channel. So the answer to that should be, I think should be 9. I'm not sure. If I press calculator, if it is whole number, then if it is not, I will test 8, I'll test 7. But there is another concept or another trick you can use. So far now I just talked about, look at this. I just talked about something kind of funny when I said if you write 20 factorial, you can have 20, 19, 18, up till what? 1. So that means what I'm doing here is that if I divide that stuff, if I divide this stuff now, apologies, I just have to do some things, and that is why I'm doing them now. I divide this stuff by, I'm going to break this down in terms of 2, because it's very easy for me to multiply in terms of 2 and multiply in 4. Everybody knows 4 is equal to 2 raised to power 2x. So the power is 2x. So let me see how many times 2 can what divide all the numbers in 20 factorial. I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm looking for how many times 2 can divide all the numbers in 20 factorial. What are all the numbers in 20 factorial? They are 20, 19 up to what? Up to 1. So let's start. How many times can 2 go? I'll take with 2 raised to power 1 is the first set of numbers. That is 2. 2 can go in 20. 2 can divide 20. The maximum number 2 can go there is 10. 10 times. The next one, 2 raised to power 2 is the next one. Divided by 2 raised to power 2 is 4. Can 4 go in 20 as well? 4 can go in 20. How many times? 5 times. This is a trick you can keep in mind. Then the next one, 2 raised to power 3 is still possible in 20 factorial because 2 raised to power 3 is 8. So 8 cannot go in 20. What is the next number in 20 factorial that 8 can divide? That is 16. So 8 can divide 16 how many times? 2 times. The next one is 2 raised to power 4. Is 2 raised to power 4 still possible in 20 factorial? Yes, it is possible. 2 raised to power 4 is 16. 16 cannot divide 20, cannot divide any other number than 16. In 20 factorial, 16 can divide 16 how many times? 1 time. And I will stop there. Then the question is, why am I stopping here? The reason why I'm stopping here is because if I go to the next number, 2 raised to power 5, it is 32. So 532 is greater than 20 factorial. I cannot see 32 in 20. And that means that I get set of possible tools that can divide that. So that being said, it is very easy to now say you now focus on the number under. Then you're now going to add them together. So 10 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17 plus 2 is 18. Total numbers, total approach is 18. Remember, there's a power on top of the 2. So that means 2 raised to x, which is the power, is equal to the total number here, which is what? 18. So now get the largest number. X will now be equals to 18 divided by 2. X answer is nothing. So that means the highest number or value of x when you divide 2 raised to power something by what? By 20 factorial will be equals to 9. Practice this logic because you might come across the question in future. I hope you can see. That is the first question for today. So I hope everybody can see the screen. So that is the way it is, and that is just what you expect. So this is the correct answer. The multiple choice question. You can move to the next one. The next question. Yes, the next question. What is the unit digit of the sum 7 raised to 21 plus 7 raised to 23? Now, here I am going to use 2 methods. Like I said, I'm going to be giving you tricks and solving it the way you expect to solve it. Now, the thing about this type of question is that you can actually do this. You can say solution right here. You can try and factorize. What is common? 7 raised to 21 is common. So, this will be times 1 plus this one remain. If you are going to 23, you are 21, remain 2. 7 raised to 2. I hope students get this. I've only factorized, bringing what is common outside. So what I have in the bracket, this will be divisible. No doubt, it will be 1 plus 7 raised to 2 is 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And that is 1 plus 49 is 50. So I'm having 50 to bracket 7 raised to 21. So directly I can say the unit digit of this number is what? Unit digit here is what? Is 0. So answer is equals to 0. So that will be the sum of what? Because I have added 1 plus 59. So the sum of the unit digit is 0. So partial response 21 is also divisible by 0. So that's that. It will work. But what about if you are not so sure? There's another thing we call organizing the pattern or identification of the pattern. If you identify the pattern in this question, you can easily solve it. For example, look at this now. Pattern identification is very important in GRE and GMAT. Let's say, for instance, we have, check this out, guys. You have this one. We say we have 7 raised to 1. Let's solve the pattern. 7 raised to 1 is 7. The second one is 7 raised to 2. I want to say, if there's a pattern I can see, 7 raised to 2 is 49. The units of 49 is 9. This is what we call unit. Tens and unit, the first number here. So the next one is 7 raised to 3. That's 49 times 7. That should be 3. The unit digit should be 3. You can test it. 7 raised to 4. The unit digit should be maybe 1. I'm not sure. 7 times 7. That's 343 times 7. Should be 1. Yes. So if you move on, 7 raised to 5. Then the pattern will follow the same thing with the 7, I'm sure. 7 raised to power 6, we have a unit digit of 9. So the pattern stop here. That's what I'm talking about. So the pattern stop there at this point. So that means if I continue, it will follow the pattern of 7931, 7931, 7931, 7 in that pattern. So if it is 7931 up to 4, so we can write it out in this format by saying we have 7, we have 9, we have 3, we have 1. These are the unit digits. So 7 raised to 21 will now be, if you are not so good in counting number, count it one by one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, then 21. 7 raised to 21 is going to have a unit digit of 7. So you are going to 23, 22, 23. So 7 raised to 23, we have a unit digit of 3. That is what we are talking about. So the question asks with the sum, that is the addition of the unit digit, that's 7 plus 3. Everybody knows 7 plus 3 is 10. So what is the unit digit of 10? 0, which conform with what you have here. So guys, this is the way you explain to them. Study the pattern, notice the pattern. If you notice that this type of question are common, if you are preparing for GRE and you actually want to join a full course class, you can just send a message on WhatsApp or you call the number shown down right on your screen. I have a lot of students doing that. I'm preparing. You want to join the group and so on and so forth. Contact me. There are a lot of things I can still tell you. Share this channel because I'm going to be sharing a lot of wonderful things. I do tell you these are not GRE questions or GMAT questions, but they are from the pattern of questions. That's what these are not their question, but question that is being framed or practice question. The next one. The next question is fine. Now, the next question is a man has to transport 100 liters of water from a nearby river to his home. If 1 liter equals to 1,000 cubic centimeter, which of the following containers, open bracket, with one open end, will accomplish this in at most 10 trips? Excuse me. Now, if we want to do this very well, we have to just look at options. A cube of side length 20 centimeter. So that means we have to convert liters to centimeter cube. So let's do that conversion first before any other thing. So if we are converting first, and if you are doing that first, I think we can do this in this way so that you guys can see. So we have 100 liters is what we want to convert. If 1 liter is equals to 1,000 cubic, so 100 will now be equals to 100 times 1,000 is I think it's 100,000. It's 100,000 cubic meter. So that's that. That's the first one. So 100,000 cubic meter. So that's the first one. So the next one now is just for us to now follow the line of question. Which of the following containers open at one end we accomplish at most 10 K? So this thing is now, any of these we are considering in our options. We are actually looking for the one that if it is being done 10 times, that's the meaning of the significance of these 10 Ks. We are looking for which of them, if we try to calculate the volume of each of these. So when we try to calculate the volume of each of these times, which of them is definitely going to give us what we have here? We have 100,000. So let's start with a cube of science. Now, the volume of a cube from junior classes from isolation to it is raise the side length to the power of 3. More like length times length times length. There are 3 sides in a cube. You do that. Let's do that for the cube. I'll start with the cube. Will be 20 times 20 times 20. Okay? So 20 times 20 times 20 should be 8,000 cubic. So if it is going 10 trips, that is 8,000 for 1 trip. So for 10 trips, it's going to be times 10. Thank you very much. My students are here too. That is 80,000. So that is that sufficient? We have 100,000 cubic meter. It's 80,000 cubic meter. That is not sufficient. So So we run that. The next one, rectangular bonus with dimension 25, 30, and 50. So that is the keyword. So rectangular box. Definitely will be 25 by 30 by 15. So I have to multiply this. 500 times 15, I'm not sure. I have to just do that. 30 times 15 is 450. 450 times 25. 450 times 25 is, you say, 450 times is 11250. So this is my calculator in case you are still on a calculator with time. So 11250. 11250. So if this is going 10 trips, you also multiply by 10. I hope you guys are seeing this. I hope you can see clearly. So when you do that, it will be 112,500. So you can see 112,500 is like 112,500. So it's going to be more than sufficient. So this guy is more than 100,000. We mark this. That is the correct answer. Let's take the last one. Cylinder. The volume of a cylinder. Volume of a cylinder is area of the base. The base of the cylinder is multiplied by the cross-sectional height. So area of a circle times height. We write it as pi r square h. I'm going to make a calculator here. So pi is 3.14. The radius of the cylinder is 12. You can see this is 12 raised to power 2. That is 144 times, because it is possible in your exam, for GMAT especially, for your options to be more than one. It's not that. Even in GRE as well, you have something like that. The height here is 20. 20, 20, 20, 20. Yes. So 3.14 times 3.14 times 144 times 20. Thank you very much. Somebody is saying here it's 90,000. 9043.2. So 9043, they are also projecting the question. So they also attempting it, and I'm doing it now. So that's what we're talking about. You can actually call us to actually join this set of students and also try to get perfect scores. So if this is also going 10 times, that means we multiply this answer by 10. What we have, we multiply by 10. And if we do that times 10, directly we can say this is 90,432. So out of this is not up to 100,000. This is also. So guys, you understand that? So this is just testing you on the aspect of your understanding of mensuration. So you need to know different shapes, cylinder, cone, sphere sometimes, and so on and so forth. Circle is very important. And some other solid shapes. For now, cube and keyboard, and other shapes I cannot remember. So the next one. The next question is question 4. Question 4 is the first question of relation of quantities. Yes, in GRE especially, you are going to have questions that test you on different quantities like this. Now, for example, you have when quantity A is greater than B, you pick choice A. When B is greater than A, you pick choice B. When they are equal after solving, you are going to pick C. When you have nothing to solve, or you cannot solve the question, or you think the information is not enough, or you are having multiple answers, you are going to pick choice D. So I hope you understand the instruction. Let's get to the question. Now, let's read. One important thing about this exam is language structure. I do tell most of the mathematicians I know, which are kind of students, they do struggle with some words. Not that they don't actually know it. Yeah, it can happen to anybody, you understand. But when you practice more before you go to for the exam, definitely you are going to do well. You understand? Now the question is the numbers of decimal places is defined. Numbers of decimal places is defined as the numbers of digits after decimal point. So now the question says for quantity A, the number of decimal places of 13 raised to power 13 over 125. May I tell you something? If you do this one with your calculator, I can tell you that you may not be able to get most of the for your exam will not stop this question. I'm telling you that. So because of time, let's be fast. You can say solution. Solution is always short. Yeah. From solution, we say, let's see this. Now, the question here is understanding numbers, which I'm going to take some topics of how you can understand numbers. There's a logic that I know very well. When 2 and 5 is divided, it's under what? It's under a denominator of a prime. It is always going to give you what we call a terminating end. terminating n. What do I mean by terminating? And when you have what 9 under 13, you understand? It's going to give you what we call a non-terminating n. Non-terminating n. So now, what I mean by terminating n is a kind of decimal point that has a specific value. Let me give you, for example, if I give you 1/2, you guys are going to tell me that the answer to 1/2 is nothing but is 0.5. Thank you very much. Now you can see that the decimal point after this is terminating. It has stopped. It is not going anywhere again. Now, but if I give you 1/3, you and I know it's going to give me 0.33333. That bar on top of it means it does not end. It continues. So if I ask between the two, which one has more number of decimals? The one that is non-terminating. So for my logic here, without pressing calculator from 2 and 500, I know that guy is going to be terminating, and that other guy is going to be non-terminating. Method 1. If that is not clear, that is still not a problem. We still have another method we can use. Now, what is the second method? The second method is factorizing this, just bring the number out. This is as saying you multiply this by 1/125. You can see the logic. It's just changing the structures and the position of this 1/125. Then this one is just a 1/39. So compare them. 1/125, we have a terminating end. You can press 1 divided by 125. Admit, please. You can help me with that. I don't want you. 1 divided by 125 will definitely give me 0.004 or something like that. 0.008 or something like that. 8 times 10 to the minus 0.008. And if I do 1 divided by 39, 1 divided by 39, and see that the end of this one will be so long, I don't even want to take it. You can see this one stop, this one will never stop. Let's press it, let's show you. Calculator is good. Sometimes we need to show you all. So if I divided by 39, let this guy come here. 1 divided by 39. We are going to see the type of. So even if you can see here, you can start is 0.02564,104. In fact, the calculator of my idea is stopping somewhere. This one is still showing me more. That 6 is not the end here. So it has a kind of 0.02564. Continue in that manner. So from these two, which of them has the highest number of decimal points? Quantity B has more decimal points at the back than quantity A. So because of that, we are going to pick quantity B as the correct answer to the question. I hope you understand what we're doing, because it's all about some questions like this. You are not supposed to miss them, because some of your calculators, some of you, the calculator can do it, but the calculator that will be provided may not be able to do this type of thing. That is why the logic of bringing out 1/1, because if you have done 1/125 times 13 raised to power 13, you are going to have 13. You understand? So if you do this, always think about factorizing 1/. That's what is on that to actually. Do you understand that? Question 5. Yes, thank you. Now, question 5 is also the same pattern. Quantity A says the sum of all multiples of 3 in the first 27 positive integers. I'm going to do that using the concept of what sequence. Now, from sequence concept, we can say directly that here, let's list the number 27 from 3 to 27. 3 multiple of 3, 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. You continue like that till you get to 27. So the sum of any what? The sum of the set of sequence, or linear sequence, arithmetic sequence, is always equal to the sum is always equal to the number of terms divided by 2 multiplied by the first term plus the last. So that is the logic. And because of time, I can even show you how they come about this. I don't want to waste time. It's just pairing them, stuff like that. So now let's start with the first one. How many times are there from 3 to 27? That's the first thing. You can write it down. How many times? Look at the way they come about this. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 9 is 27. So let me tell you, this is for the first term, the first number, and this is for the last term. So A and L are 3 and 27 respectively. You understand this? So now the next thing we keep in mind now is that the number of times. How many times are you can count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 times. But if you don't know that, there are ways you can count. So if there are 9 numbers, if you divide 27 by 3, you are going to have 9. So 9 divided by 2 will be 4.5. I'm getting the sum now. 4.5 multiplied by the first time is 3 plus the last term is 27. So that is like saying 4.5 times 30. Bracket means 30. 30 times 4 is 120. 120 plus 15 should be 135. My admin, what happened? So 4.5 times 30 is 135. So that is that. Another way of getting it is just you can group the numbers. 3 and 27 is 30. 6 and 24 is 30. 9 and 21 is 30. 12 and 18 is 30. That is 4 groups. Then the last one, 15, has no group. That is half. Now 4.5 multiplied by the 30. Directly you can also add the. I hope you understand this. Now, on the other hand, the other one here, we have the sum of the first 16 positive integers. So integers can be negative numbers as well. They can be fractions or. Fine. So now, if we want to do that, directly we can say from here, if we want to do this now, I think it is better we have it like this. For this, we can say, yeah, I'm doing this, guys. I will use a black. If I'm doing this, 16 numbers will be 1, 2. We're adding all the number from 1 to 16. So how many numbers are going to be from what I just explained now? Use this formula, sum will be equals to how many numbers are 16 numbers divided by 2? That's 8. The first term is 1. The last term is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. 8 times 17 is what I'm going to have. I think it's 136. 8 times 17 is 136. Yes, very close set of numbers. So this guy is 135, and the guy here is 136. I hope you can see. Let me cool. Let me cool myself here. I have to cool myself here with my butter. Water here. Let me just cool myself. So, which of the answer is correct, guys? If you want to pick answer here, that means quantity B is greater than quantity A. So, guys, that's that. I just want you guys to see that sometimes answers may be so good, but if you know what you are doing, I'm going to pick the right answer. The next one. I think I'm going to be needing more water. Now, the next one is also based on quantity, which is bigger, which is equal, or which is not being able to solve. So, on to this one, we can say x squared is equal to 2x minus. The second equation is y squared equals to minus 2y. The question says quantity is y minus x, quantity b is 0. So the question is asking us to get the value of x. I think this is based on the topic of quadratic equation. If you have learned, let me wait for leave the page so you can see it very clearly. Now I hope you guys can see it clearly. So if you have to look into this, you have to just solve quadratically, or you solve the quadratic equation by factorizing. Let's do that together. Let's do the first one. So if I do the first one like this, let's say the first equation, I'm writing the solution. Now the first one is x squared minus 2x. I hope you can see. I'm moving this guy here. Plus 1, I'm moving 1 equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation that can be factorized. How do I know? I can check the discriminant. But for now, I will not talk about that because some of you are just beginner. And because you're a beginner, doesn't make not just what get everything in GRE and Gmat. It's just for you to understand the question nature. And as well for you to be able to give what correct solution and correct answers when you have studied the concept. So what we do is we factorize. How do we factorize? We are going to look for two numbers when you multiply to get 1 as a product, and when you add to get the coefficient of x. So that is minus 2. That is the sum. So what are two numbers that when you multiply, you are going to get if I think about minus 1 and minus 1. So that means the factor of this guy is x minus 1, and the other one will be x minus 1 equals to 0. Because they are both x minus 1, and also x minus 1 equals to 0. So x is equal to, when you move this here, this will be 1. And that is what we're talking about. So the first answer is 1. So you solve the second one in accordance. And solving that one also, let's do that together. The second one also can be this. You can say, I will rearrange first y squared plus 2y plus 1 equals to 0. The same thing. The sum is 1. The product here is now 2. So it will be y plus 1. 1 and 1, y plus 1 equals to 0. On simplification, y will be equals to minus 1. So what are your answer? X is 1, y is minus 1. Quantity A. Quantity A says y minus n. Look at y. Minus 1 minus 1. This is minus 2. And this guy is 0. So which one is bigger? Between 0 and negative 2. So the answer is what? Quantity B is bigger than. So that's that. If you have any question, you can see the numbers scrolling down there. So just try as much as possible to what? Call that number. You can book your classes, private, one-on-one. You want to join a group. All these are done in a token. And as well, I promise you can share this channel to your friends and to people as this grows. I have a lot of content I'm still going to share. I have a lot of challenging questions I'm going to diversify. So keep it real. Subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, recommend a friend, let them know about this channel. It's going to help you a lot. On to the next one. The next question is fine. Now, the first theoretical question we are doing today, the question says, John has 100 feet of ropes. 100 feet of ropes. What is the largest area in square feet? The largest area in square feet it could entirely enclosed with the rope. Excuse me. Now, write your answer rounded to the nearest integer. So if I'm rounding up to the nearest integer, it means I'm not going to write point or decimal point or whatever. So it's going to be an whole number. So the first step was is I told you guys when you have, okay, that's in my, for the students that are here, apologies. I've said it in an opting time when you have a rope, a wire, the largest area is going to be an area that you can form in a circular form, something like what is here. You guys can see this circle. You can see the circle I'm talking about. That circle right there. This particular one, right? So now that should be the largest area. What area? The 100 feet rope is like the circumference of the what circle. So from here we can say let's solve together. Solution. Yeah, you have it. Solution we can just write here. I hope I'm not covering. So solution from here we say solution is circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Pi r plus pi r plus 2 pi r. So we can say 2 pi r circumference is 100. I need the radius so that I can calculate the area. So now 2 pi r. Let me make r subject. R will be equals to 100 over 2 pi. I'm showing this because we have beginners. That is 50 over pi. So that is the radius. So that's the radius of this of the room. So but we are looking for the area. Everybody knows the area of a circle. So in continuation, area of a circle is pi r squared. And with this calculator, I need that. So if area of a circle is pi r squared, so we can say pi times our radius squared. That's 50 over pi. Apologies, times 50 over pi. On simplification, we say 1 pi gets cancelled out. This is 50 times 50 is 2500. We say 2500 divided by pi. So that is my answer. I'm just going to know that pi is 3.14. So I'm going to leave my answer in the nearest whole number. So as I said, 2500 divided by 3.14. So that's what we want to press. 2500 divided by 3.14. That is 796. I hope I'm correct to the nearest whole number. So that's 796 is what you are going to write. So that's the answer. So guys, that is that. Let's move to that. So please keep in mind rope, wire, whatever, circumference. Then if you want to actually tape it into a square feet, it must be a circular, it must be in terms of a circle. Because that is what exactly. So the next one. Question 7, question 7, question 7. Now this one says a right angle has a hypotenuse of a right triangle has a hypotenuse measuring root 50. What could be the sum of the two other sides? The moment I spot right angle, what comes to my mind is that what is the right angle triangle? What we are going to have is going to definitely be on so you can start listing out the triplet and see which one will give you what when you square it to other side, or start listing out numbers that can fit in. For example, now you are squaring the numbers. For example, watch what I'm talking about. If let's take for example, I have this guy and this guy. I'm taking that guy and I want to draw out this guy for you guys. There's a right angle triangle, as you can see. So if this guy is root 50, I'm looking for what square, let's call A and B, and what can give me 50. So what I will write down is just different set of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. GRE only tests you on understanding of the major things. Nobody is going to test you on what's it called? A solving question that will take more than 1 minute. That's the truth. Or more than 1.5 minutes. So it's just testing you on how to quickly think and understand the language of the question. And with your little formulas and little tricks that you have read from your maybe online resources or your offline resources or from reading on yourself, reading by yourself. Now, why I'm stopping at 7, guys, is I'm looking for two numbers that when because we know the property of Pythagoras theorem is a squared plus b squared must be equals to what? 50 squared. You know that. So for us to get root 50, that means we are talking about if we have root 50, that means let's call this guy c squared first. So that you get what I'm talking about. I don't want you guys to miss any point or anything whatsoever in this class. So it's equals to c squared. So for us to get ordinary c to be root, so c will now be equals to square root. I'm taking root of everything, a squared plus b squared. So that's what we're talking about. So we are looking for, c is now what is in root. So we are looking for two numbers, and when I square them and I sum them together, it's going to give me 50. I was saying something that why exactly did I stop at 7? Because I know 7 square is 49. Just square each of them. For example, 7 square is 49. 49 plus what will give me 50? 41 plus 1. And I know 1 square is also 1. So that means I can have combinations of 7 and what? And 1. Admin, please help me with it. Oh, thank you. Now, the next one you can also talk about here is another combination. So let's check 2. 2 square is 4. I am going to 50. If you subtract 50 plus from 4, you are going to have 46. 46 is not a perfect square. 2 cannot work with any number. 3. 3 square is 9. 9 from 50 is 41. 41 is not a perfect square. 3 cannot work. Look at this. 5. Okay, 4. 16. 16 minus 50, where I'm going, is 34. 34 is not a perfect square. Out of it. I will go to 5. 5 square is 25. 25 plus 50 still give me 25. 25 is a perfect square again because 5 square will also give me. So that means I can also have a possibility of what? 5 and 5. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can also have a possibility of 5 and 5. So that is what we are talking about. 5 and 5 is also possible. It will give me what? It will also give me root 50. 5 square plus 5 square, 7 square plus 1 square. So if I go to 6, 6 square is 36. 36 from 50. 36 from 50 is 14. 14 is not a perfect square. So it doesn't work. So the possibilities I have to get root 50 is 1 and 7. And as well, I have 5 and 5. 5 and 5. So these are the two possibilities. So the question says, what could be the sum? The sum means the addition of these two guys. So the sum of 1 plus 7, the first situation is 8, and the sum of the second one, 5 plus 5, is nothing but 10. So those are the two possibilities I have. I can have 8, choose all that apply. There's more than one answer that apply, and I can also have 10. So, guys, I hope you get this. That is just it, and that is what we're talking about. When we talk about the GMAT and DRE, they are very simple. It's only require you understanding the question, and that is all. Now, the next question, that is not all for the question. We are doing a full quant section because you guys really surprised me at the rate at which you subscribe to this channel. I'll be expecting your course. If you have challenges, I will help you guys. If you want to join my full course class, you can also check the numbers scrolling down on your screen. On to the next one, question number 9. Now, question number 9, I guess, is saying, wow. Now, it's a question on if n raised to the power 5 minus 4n minus 7 is even, what does minus 1 raised to the power n plus minus 1 raised to the power n plus 4 plus minus 1 raised to the power n minus 1 equals? So now, listen, guys, GRE and GMAT will never test you on solving complex equations. They will rather give you a question that you can pick values. Look at the first statement. This particular equation is even. So that is a pointer to something. This is telling you that this particular question can be done whereby what? Picking numbers. So let's pick numbers. I'm going to pick the simplest number. When you are picking numbers, the first number that comes to your mind is 0 and 1. So let me pick 1 for this situation. Why am I picking 1? Yes, I love answering questions. I can pick 0 because if I pick 0, I'm looking at maybe I'm going to have a very big value. I'm just thinking that, or maybe something will not work. If I prefer picking 1, then I substitute that 1 into the other one. So when I pick 1, again, let me also make this. Nobody wants you to start solving this equation and you want to factorize. It is kind of what complex for you to start factorizing this with a limited amount of time that you are giving at your exams. So keep that in mind. So if I'm doing this, guys, I'm writing the solution here. I'm substituting n equals to 1. So 1 raised to the power 5 is 1. You and I know that. Minus 4 times 1 is 4 minus 7. On simplification, this will give me 1 minus 4 is minus 3. Minus 3 minus 7 is minus 10. Fine. So you can see minus 10 is even. So it works with the condition that is given. So if I work with the condition, I'm not going to waste my time. I'll just substitute that in the question. So to the question, minus 1 is fine. I'm going to have minus 1 raised to power minus 10. Then the next one is plus. Look at it, plus minus 1 raised to power minus 10 plus 4, that is minus 6. Then plus minus 1 raised to power minus 10 minus 1 is minus 11. So now I have simplified the question in such a way that it is quite easy to solve. So now what do I do, guys? What I'm going to do now is just to finish up. Now remember from indices law, simple concept, a raised to power minus 1 is like 1 over a. You understand? Inverse. If you write a raised to power minus 2 is like 1 over a raised to power 2. So this is the simple logic. Look at this one. Minus. This minus means 1 over minus 1 raised to power minus 10. I'll do it one by one. So look at this now. Whenever you are raising a number to a negative number, it is going to give you what? Out. Whenever you are raising something to a what? To a negative number, to a particular odd number or even number, it's going to give you a positive number. What am I saying? Let's take it in this way. If I say minus 1 raised to power 2, this is going to give me minus 1 times minus 1 to be positive 1. If I say minus 1 raised to power 3, I don't need to waste my time because 3 is odd. Apologies, guys. 3 is odd. This is going to give me the same minus 1. So when it is even, it is positive. When it is odd, it is positive. So let's do that here. So if I say 1 over, what is this, guys? This is even. It is going to be positive 1. So 1 over 1 is 1. I'll do the second one with black. So if I do the second one also, you can see this is 1 over -1 is plus 6. So that is like saying 1 over -1 is plus 6. It's definitely going to give me 1 because 6 is also even. That's 1. But the last one is not even. That guy is odd. Let's use the red. So we have minus, the other one will be written as 1 over -1 raised to power 11. What's that? That's 1 over -1. That's -1. So these are the three answers. The three answers to these guys are what you see 1, 1, and -1. So let's plug it in back to the question. So this one answer was this guy is 1 plus this guy was 1, and this guy was -1. So do this and tell me your answer. What will be the answer? 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is still 1. Any value you substitute, if you use 0, you follow the same pattern. My dear student, that is exactly what you are going to do. So I hope you guys are following. I hope you guys are getting it. If not challenges, like I said, send the WhatsApp message to me. I'm going to attend to you. Stay on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's move to the next question. Now, the next question. Now, is we have purchase price in dollar, and the numbers of sales. We have 5,000 to 9,000, we have 12. From 9,001 to 13,000, we have 14. From 13,001 to 17,000, we have 6. From 17,001 to 21,000, we have 3. Now, the question says the table above shows the frequency distributions of the sales prices of 35 used cars. Now, quantity A says the difference of the least and greatest possible range of the sales prices of 35 cars. Range. May I start by introducing you guys to statistics? Let's start with range. Range basically is highest set of value minus lowest. That is just that. Now, when you have a group data, when we say group data, that means those one that you have something like this, and they are being grouping, they are in grouping, that is hyphen 5,000 to 9,000. So what is the highest set of numbers here? Now, in group data, range can be in two forms. You can have greatest value of range and lowest value of range. That is considering the what we call the class intervals. That is what we call it in mathematics. For all these things, you may not need them. Yes, I said that. You may actually not need them in the sense that you can just know that range is highest minus lowest. There are two possible ranges. The first range is I will take the lowest number here and I will take the highest number here. So I will say the highest number is 21,000 and the calculator. 21,000 minus the lowest number there is 5,000. So that is simple without calculator for everybody. 21,000 minus this will be 16,000. That's the first possible range. Another range you can also have, which is what we call the maximum and the lowest and the least range, is when you take the maximum number of the first set, that's 9,000, and you take the what? The lowest number of the highest set. So, for example, the lowest one, the least range you can have is the highest here is 17,000 minus 9,000. So 17,000 minus 9,000. That should give us nothing but we have this should be something like 17,001, 17,001. That is 17,001. Let's do that with that yesterday. So if we do 17,000, that is 6,000, 6,999. Let me just confirm. 17, I just want to be sure, guys. 001 minus 9,000. 8,001. You can see not 7,001. So that's 8,001. So look at the question here. It says the difference of the least. What is the least range now? This is the least range. And the greatest possible. What's the greatest one? This is the greatest range. This is the least range. The difference. That means we are subtracting those two guys. So, and if we subtract those two guys, we are going to have 10,000 minus 8,001. So, and that is giving us 7,999. 7,999. So 7,999 is the answer for this guy. We are comparing it with 8. Now look at how close these two sets of data. It's so funny that we have something like this. You can see it's so funny sometimes. So if you are just thinking this one together, don't just get. It's always better you solve it. When you solve them, you are confident that your answer is fine. Here, quantity B is greater, so you pick B. So it's a simple question. It only requires you to understand the range is highest and lowest. When you are looking for least range, you consider some set of data. When you're looking for the most one, you consider some set of data. That is exactly what I have done right here. So the next one, the question next. Yeah, fine. Now the set K contains 5 numbers, all which are negative. So let us list the set K. I'm going to list the set K right now. So if I'm listing the set K right now, I hope you can see that. So set K is 5 sets of data set. So you must not repeat any data whatsoever. -5, they are all negative. -4, -3, -2, -1. So I'm just picking my own set. Set of data means the set must not be repeated. List of data means all numbers are repeated, or numbers that can be repeated. So now, the first one says quantity A, the standard deviation of set of the set, the standard deviation of the set, if 2 is added to each number. I have said this, if you are just new to the concept, keep it in mind when you add numbers to a set, the standard deviation is SD, remain the same. So we are adding numbers to each of these. So as far we are adding numbers to each of these, the standard deviation will be the same. Excuse me. However, quantity B, let's see. Quantity B says the standard deviation of the set if each is multiplied by 2. Now, multiplication does increase the standard deviation. What we are saying now is that I'm multiplying this 2 times 5, it will not change to -7. So when you are actually multiplying set of number, standard deviation what will increase. So it goes without saying this way increase. So if this is increasing and this is remaining the same, this set of number quantity B is bigger than how. Somebody is asking me how. Yeah, yes, I like that. Now, another thing I can add to you now is that you should know how to calculate standard deviation from the mean median mode formula. If you don't know that, I can quickly teach, but not in this video. I will still talk about them. Now, the thing is, the standard deviation of a set of data cannot be 0. You can write that now. Cannot be 0. I say cannot be 0. Cannot be negative. Sorry about that. Cannot be negative. So now, because if you are considering because it is negative that the value will reduce in size. The more the negative, you think it will reduce in size. Yes, because if you multiply -5 times 2, that's -10. -10 is lower than standard deviation cannot be negative. So, and because it cannot be negative, it will always be positive. That is why it will increase. So it's just a key concept you can keep in mind, a trick. You understand? Just one simple trick. B will be greater. When you add, remain the same. When you multiply, it will increase. This is the method we use, and it can never be negative. The next question. Yes, the next question is question on diagram, mensuration, you call it geometry, you call it mensuration. So diagram is a parallelogram. Because it's parallelogram, there are some properties of parallelograms that we can quickly talk about. There are some properties of parallelogram we can quickly talk about. The first property that we can quickly talk about is this. So we can say solution. Now the solution to this will be quick properties to be one. Number one is when we talk about parallelogram. One thing we can talk about is, I hope you can see the diagram. Yes, it's not that big. Yes, somebody's saying that here. It's not that big. Yes, you can see. It's not that big. Let me see what I can do for you. It's not that big. I don't know. Maybe because I've started this, I want to push it to. Maybe I will redraw. Let me redraw for you guys. So now here is 60. This is 60. This is 90. triangle ABC, this guy will be 30. I hope you can see that. If this is 16, this is also 16. So now this side is also equal to this side, opposite sides for a parallelogram. I said opposite sides. Do you guys get it here? Of a parallelogram are equal. So this guy is 16, this guy is 16. This guy is, I don't know, let me call it X. This guy will also be what? X. So I can get this side from Super. You can see 30, 60, 90. So if this is 16, this guy will be 8. How? Look at this opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite, that's sine 30 is equals to, we have opposite is the x, hypotenuse is the 16 here. Sine 30 is 0.5, 16 times 0.5. X is equal to 8. So this AB is 8. This guy is also equal to 8. So look at the question. Quantity A says C8. So this diagram, let me redraw that diagram. Let me make it sit. I am redrawing it to sit like this. For you guys to see this. I hope you can see this. Let me bring it here. Yes, it should be visible now. So that's that. I'm redrawing C, which is here, is now here. C is now here. The H, which is the perpendicular under here, this guy is now here, and the D is here. I know DC is now my 8, which I've calculated here. This is 8. Where is my angle? I told you if B is 60, this guy here is also 60, angle D is also 60. Why? Opposite angle of a parallelogram are equal, and that is that. And you can say angle D is 60. We are looking for CH. Where is CH? This guy, let me call it Y now. So 60, I can get this guy to be 30 out. Sum of angle in a triangle and the right angle triangle is 90. So I can use any value, sine rule or whatever, and say sine rule, SOHCAHTOA yet again to get the answer to this. So let's use SOHCAHTOA to get Y. So we can say opposite over hypotenuse again, sine. I can say sine of 60 degrees, sine of 60 degrees is equals to opposite is what I'm looking for, and my hypotenuse, the longest side is always hypotenuse. So when I cross multiply, here, sine 60 is equal to 3 over 2 is equals to y over 8. You can cross multiply and see the magic. My own weight for my student, they are used to that 3 here, 1, 3, 4. So when I cross multiply, y answer is 4 times 3. That is 4 with 3. So that means my value of CH here is nothing but 4 root 3. So 4 root 3 and 7 is what I'm comparing. So my job now is to compare the two answers between 4 root 3 and 7. Which of them is bigger? So if I punch calculator, 4 times root 3 will give me something like 6 point. According to my admin here, my students are also doing it 6.9. 6.9 and 7, which is bigger between 6.9 and 7. You see? Okay. Between 6.9 and 7, the bigger number is 7. So also again, quantity B. I think quantity B is taking the day now. What do you think, guys? Quantity B is just what is taking all the math. It doesn't mean any exam, quantity B will be the what? The one you are supposed to be, we are not sure. No. So it depends on the nature of your question. So the next one. The next question should be question next. I don't know. Now, I think this is the simple question, maybe 10. Now, quantity A is quantity of prime numbers. We have prime numbers from 30 to 39. And second one is we have 30 to 39, and we have from 40 to 39. So let's start. Prime numbers are numbers that can define what itself and 1. Let's list them. 31 is prime. 37 is prime. Only 2. For this guy, we have 41 is prime. 43 is prime. 47 is prime. So which one is more? Quantity B has 3 sets. Quantity A has 2 sets. So again, quantity B is greater. I don't think we need to waste time on this. I think this is very cheap. I think we're having some cheap questions now. I just pray it continues in that. The next question. The next question says, following 5% tax, Roger paid $200 in total for a jitter. Quantity A says the price of jitter before the 5% tax. Before the 5% tax. Now let the price of jitter before the 5% tax, let the price be X. Let the price before the tax be X. So X, then plus 5% tax is 5 over 100 is 0.05x. The total of money he paid was 200. That is for beginner. For somebody who's used my class, they already know. They said 5%. Somebody plays 5%. You always take percentage as 100. That is our method here. Don't take percentage as 100. What we do is we try as much as possible to know if we are going to increase or decrease. For example, taxation is an increase. So 5% tax means we are adding 5 to 100. So when we add 5 to 100, we are going to have 105. So by that time, is something that can increase to 105%. So by virtue of that, 105% is 1.05. Someone say, yes, 105 over 100, you gave you 1.05. Say 1.05. Of the initial money was X, gave what? 200. So directly you can say X equals to 200 divided by 1.05, which is also the same answer you are going to get from these two. So this also is X plus 0. This is 1 plus 0.05 is 1.05. Is equals to 200. So if you divide this is more like 190.4. So 190.4 is this guy, and this guy is 190. So which one is greater? I think for the first time today we have quantity A greater than. So I think you get that. If you don't get that, please let me know. Send a message to me on the WhatsApp number. So you want to join my class, you're always free. Just WhatsApp that number, you can call us. You can always call. We are going to add you to some of the study groups and how to do that and stuff like that. So the next one, you also want to register, you can also contact that number, registration. You do that as well. So the next question will be question next. Oh, wow. Not this, but this. The next question. Now, about the next question, we have x and y are positive integers, such that square root of x plus y is 29, x plus square root of y is 21. Quantity A is x, quantity B is what? Is y. That is what we have. You can see that. So let's quickly do that. Because I have square root, I'm not going to be solving, like I said, Gre Gmat, don't disturb, or they don't like disturbing you people because they know you have a lot of what you're doing. Some of you are working and stuff like that. Most of us are working, you understand? Most of us, I just use the word us, I'm not writing. You understand that? But the truth is, square root of x plus y, the word square root, give me what I should think of a perfect square. So I will list all possible perfect square, and I think will work. For example, I can write, well, the highest number I have here is 29. So I can list all number 1 to 6, or 1 to 5. 1 to the 6 was what is in my memory. 3, 4, 5. Why am I stopping at 5? 5 squared is 25. 25 plus what will give me 29. Look at this. 25 plus what? 25 plus 4. So if I put 4 square is 16. So that means I can say x is equals to 16. Y is equals to 5 square is 25. Let's see, maybe it works with the two equations. Watch. 25 plus square root of 16 is 29. Check, check, check. The second one, x is 16 plus square root of 25. 16 plus 5 is 21. Check, check. So this is the answer. X is 16 and y answer is 20. So which one is bigger? Again and again. So that is that. So again and again is still the same stuff that is always the what? The biggest. So let's move on. I don't think this one should give you any. Okay, somebody is saying here that how did I know without struggling? I told you it is by what we call testing. Gre, Gmat, always want you to test. Perfect squares in particular. Learn them well. They are going to help you. You don't need to start solving simultaneous equation because we don't have the time. For example, now you want to say you want to add the two equation or you square both sides. You know all those ones, you don't need them in the Gre. for the GMAT exam. Avoid wasting it. Excuse me. I love water. I'm sorry. So the next question. The next question is a question on a company is transferring 1,200 meter cube of water from town A to town B. And because they are transferring, what now happen? It can either use a rectangular solid shaped of size 1 by 3 by whatever, of size 1 by 3 by 4, or a cylinder with radius of 2 meters and a height of 1 meter. That exactly is what we have. So now the first, which is quantity, says the number of rectangular solid shaped tank they have to use for this transfer. The total volume of that particular container that the company is using to transfer is 1,200 meter cube. So if it is a rectangular solid shape, it's going to have something like a length, breadth, and height. It's going to be like something like a keyboard. I hope you know what they call a keyboard. Yes, if you don't know, there's always a first time to everything. So it's going to be something like this. So that will be the shape of the first one. So that is the way it's going to look like. So, and if you want to put the position, length, breadth, and height, the way we do it, LBH, so we just put or substitute the value directly. And if we do that, 1, 3, and 4. So LBH is 1 by 3 by 4. So by 1 times 3 times 4, that is 12. I hope you get that. That is for the rectangular. So 12 out of 1,200 meter, 12 meter cube out of 1,200. So how many of it are they going to fill it? That is 1,200. That is 1,200 is the same as 1,200 divided by 12 meter cube. So when you divide 1,200 by 12, that is 100. 100. So let's just see the second one. The second one is a cylinder shape. So about the cylinder shape, I should have a cylinder. Yeah. Open at one end. Yes. Yes. Open at one end like that. Now, that's a cylinder. The volume remains the same. The volume of a cylindrical shape is the area of the base. The cylinder has a circular base. Area of a circle is pi r square. Then multiply by the cross-sectional height. That is height. So that's the volume. Keep it in mind if you don't know. Most people will say pi r square h. Fine. Correct. So pi is always 3.14. Multiply by radius. Look at the radius. Radius is 2. 2 square. That is 4. Multiply by the height. The height is 1. So going by this one, 3.14 multiplied by 4. That's what I need. 3.14 multiplied by 4 should give me 3.14 multiplied by 4, 12 point something or what? 12.56. So 12.56, I'm still going to divide. So 12.56 meter cube of this one, excuse me, is needed. 12.56 of this guy is needed. So this 12.56 of this guy is needed. So I can say that out of 1 2, that I will divide 1,200 divided by 12.56. And that is the last one. So to get the value of this, so that I will be able to compare the one that so 12.5, that's 1 2 divided by 12.56. Let me do that. So that is giving us 95 point something. It's not going to be up to this. So let me just write 95 point something. I'm not sure. So but let me do it now. I have calculator 1,200 divided by 12.56. 95.54. 95.54. Look at this. 95.54 will be what in the value there. So that's that, guys. I'm trying to do this time. This guy is tired. 95.54. So 54. So which one is bigger? This time again, quantity A. So A is bigger. I hope you guys are actually following. Like I said, it is all about knowing the tricks. The questions and points are not so difficult. It's about understanding the position of the question before you solve. You understand? Position of the question is very important. Don't make mistake. Don't waste your time on question that is not solved. So the next one. Now the next one says the ages in year of 4 people in a room are the following. The ages is given 17, 25, 31, and 39. You can see them. A fifth person, X years old, enters the room. The first one says the value of X so that the mean, important fact, so that the mean and the median of 5 ages of people, so that they are equal. So now, the second one says 28. Now, we can first of all let the age of the fifth person be 28. Will the mean and the median be equal? So let's test that. So let's do solution here. We can say solution. So let's test 28 to be the fifth person. Let's arrange 17, 25. So we are putting 28, 31, and 39. These are the 5 of them. The median is 28. Is the mean also 28? How will you get? You add everything together. You are going to divide by 5. So add everything together. 17 plus 25 plus 28 plus 31 plus 39. Divide by 5 is 6 equals to 28. Let's test that. Now, okay, fine. So we can quickly test that because of time. So we can say 17 plus 25 plus 28 plus 31 plus 39. I'm getting the average. Divide everything by 5. That is 28. So that means 28 conform with what we have here. So the median is also the mean with 28. Now the question is, guys, the question here is, do you think it is only 28 that is possible for me to use in this question? That's why sometimes you don't need to work. You don't need to work. You know that I can actually make that X and I can actually get different values. For instance, if I actually want to make 25 to be the median, what do you think I will do? That means I'm going to put X 17, 25. 28 is no more there, you know what I mean. So 31 and 39. So what is the median here? The median is the middle number is 4 million. Median here is 25. 25 is the median. So if 25 is the median here, now what will be the value of X to make 25 also the median? It's possible. I can get a particular value that will make the value to what. So I can put X at any point. I can put it between 31 and 39. I will just shift the position. For this one, if I want to get it, how will I get the median? Now, if I want to make the median equals to the mean, the median is 25, the mean also is 25 now. So what will make this one to be 25? I think it should be 13. You can try. Is it 13 or 14? 13 should be correct. Let's find 13. Yes, 13. So let's do 13 plus 17 is 30. 30 plus 25 is 55. 55 plus 31 is 86. 86 plus 39. 86 plus 39 is 125. 125 divided by 5 is 25, which is also the you can see. So what I'm trying to say now is that in this type of situation, whereby X can take any position, it can actually stand this type of situation, you say what? You are going to pick D. Because you can't say they are equal. You can't say one is what greater than the other. So that is the method we use. And I think I'm almost there. I think so. Let's move to the next question. Fine. Now, the next question says, let's see how many do I have left. I have 2 more to go. Fine, almost there. Maybe I am too fast. I'm not quite sure. Am I too fast? Oh, wow. I was told I'm too fast. So let's say on a racetrack, car A traveling at a constant speed of 90 miles per hour. You and I know that is speed. So this is going to test us on distance, speed, time, stuff. Which you can learn. Let me say formula. Now, not concept is a speed is equals to distance over time. So car A now, car A is moving at a speed of 90 miles per hour, and its distance is 1 mile. So the distance is 1 mile. That's car A. Now, on the other hand, car B traveling at a constant speed of 120 miles per hour. Car B speed is 120 miles per hour. Is 2 miles from the finish line, so the distance is 2. Now, what do I know, guys? I know very well that the question will definitely test me maybe on time. So let's see what the question is saying. The first question, which is quantity, that is telling me here, guys, that the numbers of seconds it takes car B to pass the finish line after car A are past the finish line. The numbers of what? Seconds. My speed is in what? Hours, miles per hour. Then we have to convert to what? The time I'm going to get, because the number of seconds is asking me about time. And because it's asking me about time, you and I know that speed is distance over time. And what I'm going to do here in this case is just to make sure that what everything goes with what is being asked. So now I get the time. So from the first one, I can say the time. So the time will equals to the distance divided by, I'm doing car A now, car A is faster than B by 90. So I want to convert it to seconds, 60 seconds make 1 minute, 60 minutes make 1 hour. From hour to seconds, multiply by 3,600. Directly, this is 1, that is 40 seconds. Then car B, the time for car B is the distance divided by the speed. The distance of car B is 2 divided by the speed of car B is 120 miles per hour. I'm converting to seconds by multiplying by 3,600. This gets cancelled out. 12 here, 1, 12 here. This is 1 over 60, that is 60 seconds. So that means car A will finish in 40 seconds. And B, that car B with what? We take what? 50 seconds to finish. So they now ask us here in quantity A stuff. Look at it. We have to read and understand the number of seconds it takes car B to pass car B to pass the finish line after car A has passed. So the number of seconds, what's the interval of seconds between the two cars? At 60 minus 40, and that is 20 seconds. That is 20. So 20 seconds is the interval of time at which we take this one. So the answer to this one is 20 seconds. So this is also 20. So 20 and 20 are what? 20 and 20 are what? They are what? They are equal. So 20 and 20 are equal. First time today, our answer is equal. So please learn the concept of speed, time, distance, travel. Just follow the language of the question. Increase by 1, decrease, down to something. Just be organized when you're actually reading all these long questions. And if it is not coming at that time, please go to the next one. There are some of them that from practice, when you see it, you already know what you are supposed to do. The next. Now, the next question says, for what value of x is the following inequality satisfied? For what value of x is the following inequality satisfied? Now, x cubed is less than absolute value. This guy is called absolute value. Is also less than x squared. Choose two answers. Choose two answers. Follow the instruction. That means there are going to be two answers that will conform with the question. Yes. Yes. Somebody says A and B here. Thank you very much. So let me quickly test that. So it's just testing stuff. My x is minus 3 raised to power 3. It should still be minus 27. I'm testing that. It's less than absolute value of minus 3. Please, absolute value of any number is still going to be what? Of a negative number is still going to be what? Positive. The absolute number of any set of number, either positive or negative, will not change. So now, If I put minus 3 inside this bar of minus 3 is still 3. But we'll call it absolute value or modulo. So less than, no, I'm using minus 3. Minus 3 squared is 9. Is this correct? Minus 27 is less than 3. Yes, correct. 3 is less than 9. Absolutely. I'm picking this answer. Correct. The main one answer I'm looking for. I thank my admin. They're also doing this. Very good. Now, the next one, they say this is also correct. Let's test it. Minus 2 raised by 3 is minus 8. It's less than, when we put minus 2 in bar, it will be 2. It's less than minus 2 raised by 2 is 4. Very correct. Minus 8 is less than 2. 2 is less than 4. It's also correct. So these are the two answers. We don't need to waste our time. I hope you can see it. I hope it is. Luckily for you, the first two options are the right answer. No need of wasting time. The next one. I am very sure this should be the last question. So, admin, I'm getting to the last question. I think you guys are going to do this. But before I go, guys, a form of participants now. You guys should not forget to subscribe, share the link to anybody you think deserve or want to write GRE or a master student or somebody that's going to study abroad or needs to write GRE or GMAT. And if you want to make registration or do some inquiries, any of them, you can actually contact Mosty Academy. Number scrolling down on your screen is the perfect number to call. You can also send a WhatsApp. Just drop them down. We are going to attend to you. Don't worry about some response message or time of response. You need urgent information. You want to join our classes. You want to know the prices. You want to know how to get close to us. Blah, 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 blah. Call those numbers or you send a message via WhatsApp. You can also consider subscribing to other math channel, but this time around it is level. If you are still having problems with some foundations, what I mean by foundation is how to add, subtract, integers, rational, irrational numbers, many. So I'll be doing some of them here on this channel, like I said earlier. But because of your response, that is why I come out here to do this full quant question for you guys. We have 20 questions. In fact, the time is not available. Not available. The time is not. I don't have that time. But notwithstanding, you guys are wonderful. Continue this channel. Expect if you can make it 2,000, so I'm going to make what 50 questions for you with explicit answers with some tricks you have never seen before. Yes, I said that. Tricks you have never seen before. I promise you that. So, guys, let's move on with the last question, but not the least. My admin says the answer is D. Yes, yes, I know it's D because once I saw this question, I can tell you it is D. Why? Because you cannot just conclude by using one value. What are we saying? How do we know it's D? It is D because look at this, guys. You said A over B. You said A over B is equals to 0.4. I will do that now. Let's look at this, guys. If A over B is equals to 0.4, 0.4 you and I know is 4 over 10. 4 over 10 can be 2 over 5 to its lowest term. Now, also, or on top of this, B over A is also equals to 2.5. You and I know 2.5 is 5 over 2. So you guys can be fine. A over B is 2 over 5. B over A, command here, is 5 over 2. You can now conclude that, oh, wow, A is equals to 2, B is equals to 5. Fine. So you now come to the question. A plus B is now equals to 2 plus 5, which is 7. 7 is equal to 7. And here, you are. The reason is because you have to keep. Now, look at this. You can continue multiplying. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 and 10 can also be impossible. Look at it. 5 times 2 times 2 is also possible. 5 times 2 is 10 over 2 times 2 is 4. You say, okay, also 4 over 10, 10 over 4. So 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 is not equal to 7. You can see what I'm talking about. So now you can also move on because it is not only that. If you multiply by 2 again, it's also going to give you 0.4. So there are numerous numbers that can behave in that way. So it is not only when you have 5 and 2. A can be 10 and 4. A can be 20 and 8. A can be, that man. You understand? You continue like that. A can be 40 and 16. So 40 over 16 is 2.5. 16 over 40 is 0.4. Do you understand? So that is why our answer here is DDD. So guys, like I do say, that's the end of it. of this full quant section for the GRE and GMAT, first of its kind. This is just a tips of what iceberg. It is just what you should expect. Expect more. Subscribe to the channel. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on. Continue practicing. If you want to join our full class course, you can call that number or send a WhatsApp message to that number. I'll see you soon by the grace of God. Continue subscribing, continue sharing, share to your friends, let them know about the channel. We are doing this free of charge, it doesn't cost you anything. You can use your ninth plan of YouTube to watch my country. And if you are from other countries and I know you guys have a very better plan, watch them. If you have any question, just comment. No comment, you cannot comment on this channel. I'm sorry about that. If you want to comment, link other Mosby Academy channel you are going to see there. Make your comment there. Or better, you can just call the number or drop your comment. If you have a question as well, drop your WhatsApp or mostlyacademy@gmail.com. I'll see you soon. You have a wonderful time. Thank you, GRE, GMAT students. Continue enjoying solving mathematical questions and as well your Baba. Bye for now.